What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the shop. You saw in the last video I got in the new Daiwa SS AIR TW, and of course we are going to do a little upgrade here to make it a little smoother. So I'm going to break this reel down real quick and get to the bushings that need to be swapped out and swap them with bearings. So I'm going to swap them out with these guys right here. This will probably be a little tedious, but being it's a new reel, I'd like to see what's inside and see how dry it is, or I'm just always curious to check out all these new reels. So I really should get a little bit better looking handle because it's such a nice reel. Hyperdrive on it. All right, all these parts. Washers everywhere. Let me get one of my rags. All right. Can already see they ported the drive shaft. But now I got to use an Allen key. Get this guy off. One there, one here. I think there's one up top, so I think there's 3 of them. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Let's get this guy apart. All right, so got those out. Set this guy aside. Aluminum gears. You got spring. Spring. Main gear. Pinion gear, pinion yoke, all that fun stuff. I'm just gonna wipe it down real quick. It's pretty dry inside, as you can see, it's pretty dry. So I'm gonna do a little Douthlon grease treatment on it once I get everything done. All right, so we got a Phillips screw here. Phillips screw on this side. They're pretty tight, so all right, so now it exposed the T-wing, the worm gear and everything. Now I gotta take the pawl guide and everything out. So there's a little notch here. You can slide little tweezers, pops right out. Take the bar out. Take your tweezers and help push that. It usually gets stuck because of grease inside. So you just need to help it a little bit. There it goes. There's the worm gear, or the pawl, this little washer spacer. I know where everything goes, so I'm not worried about any of that. So now this thing is free, ready to go. I'm just gonna clean up a little bit of grease before I take it out. This is the probably the hardest part of getting to the bushings here. Is this guy here, the C-clip, E-clip, whatever you want to call it. It's definitely not the most enjoyable thing to do. It's actually pretty kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to do it in my lap because it's much easier than trying to stretch over the table. And you want to do it you want to do it with like a cloth in your lap or something, because they tend to disappear. So I took that off, so now this thing should just slide right out. And there's a bushing right there, and there's going to be a bushing on this side, hopefully. There should be a bushing on this side. There it is. And it's your typical 4.7 2.5s, so I don't need to measure anything. It's been the same size for 15 or 20 years with like the Pixies and everything. Daiwa, Shimano, they all use the 4.7 2.5 bearings on their knob, you know, your handles and everything. So it's the same bearing size. Just gonna clean up the worm gear a little bit. All right, so the inside of that's good. All right, let's get some of these bearings out. There's 2 bearings there. I'm gonna add a drop of ZPI oil on each bearing. This bearing's gonna go into the side here. And this guy, I have to do another step. Clean it up just a hair. All right, so this guy has to come off, which is another pain to do. So I'm gonna do that in my lap again. Little C-clip comes out. This guy pops off. This bushing comes out, and this guy just slides back on again. And then we do everything in reverse. Let's put this guy there. Again, trying to put these clips on is not the easiest task, especially when you have everything spread out. Normally when I'm doing reels, nothing is up here, everything's down here and all my other spots, but this is the easiest to shoot video. Okay. So that guy's back on. Drop him back in. Now it's free as could be. Clean it up just a little bit. And it's pretty clean reel. It's never really been used, so not really worried about dirtiness. It's just pretty dry. Now I've got to either put this washer back on. I don't know if this washer will fit because the bearings are just a hair thinner, but it should fit right on. And the C-clip should just clip right back on, I hope. Awesome. Got it back on there. It spins so much easier now. And it's gonna be so much nicer under load. So now I'm essentially turning into an SSSV Steez CT with all the bearing counts. I'm gonna stick this guy in. Okay, so that guy should be in. I don't know what the point of these washers are. They should just make it like a millimeter shorter. I don't know, it's weird. Or a millimeter longer. But all right, so that goes there, and then this grommet slides right back on. And I think it's gonna be awesome when it's done. All right, so that is there. Everything looks good. Everything's on. I can slide this guy back on. Pretty much do everything in reverse. Now, if they made the screws a different color, that'd be kind of nice. You could actually see them. Flat black screws on a flat black reel. All right, this guy. All right, so he's done. This thing's pretty clean, so let me go ahead and just wipe all this stuff down, my micro tiles. All right, so that's done. Done. Drag disc is a little oily, a little greasy, but it should be good now. Main gear is completely dry. Yeah, I think it's butter right now. Okay, so I'm gonna stick some of this stuff on. Put it on the plastic gears. This is the Duthalon semi-fluid grease. So you want a little bit there. Pretty much want it on all the friction points. Friction points, or the clutches. Friction point down here. All right, let's stick the pinion and the yoke back on. Springs. All right, so that's good. Back on. Put a smidge. seat. All right, so now I gotta move away from the semi-fluid grease and go into the ceramic grease for the main gears. I just wiped it off on a towel, so you just want to brush it on, get it in between all the teeth. Then it meshes well with the pinion gear. So then it will have some grease on this reel instead of being completely dry. All right, should be good. Put a little bit. Awesome. Should be good to go. All right, so under this guy, everything looks pretty good. I'm just gonna wipe away some of this stuff. Everything should be good. Move this guy back. All right, so that's pretty good. Don't really need to mess with that. Might need to put a little oil. It's not bad though. I will not be upgrading the spool bearings just because they're micro bearings, so I don't really need to. All right, so put this guy back together.